Welcome to the Bright Ideas Podcast.
Hello, Francis. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Trent. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to speak to you and give some value to your audience.
Absolutely. Good to have you here. So for the folks who are not familiar with you, let's start there. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I'm Francis 9 from Memphis, but living in Budapest. And I'm an email strategist and copywriter for e-commerce businesses, coaches, and consultants. But the bulk of my work is working with D2C brands and other e-commerce businesses.
What size brands do you typically work with?
Anywhere from 6-figure kind of drop shipping brands to anything from these 8 to 9-figure health supplement companies. So over the last few years, I've kind of worked with just about kind of any category and a lot of different niches. So, but yeah, typically work with brands in the 6 to 7-figure mark, trying to get to that next level, trying to differentiate themselves from other brands in their niches. Because I am a copywriter. And so in regards to marketing and getting that messaging down, that's kind of where my expertise lies.
Okay. And you think that brands should be focused more on email. Why is that? Isn't email dead? Isn't it overused?
Email is definitely not dead. I think email is 100% more relevant now than maybe any other time in history. Might be a long shot because I'm only 28. But I think right now with the age of personalization, this younger demographic wanting their marketing to be more customized, less scammy, more personalized. I think using email is crucial for D2C businesses, especially since starting an e-commerce store and selling products online. There's just been Trent, as you've seen, there's just been huge the last few years. I think every other day I'm getting advertised and retargeted to buy a new product or to do some type of coaching program so I can start my own e-commerce business or something like that. So I know for sure that it's definitely getting harder and harder to kind of stand out from that pack of the thousands of businesses that are being built every day. And so where email comes in is that by using a really awesome message, you have a very robust and sophisticated system. You can bypass the idea that you're just being scammy or selling products and really create a relationship with your customers so that they keep buying from you. And you have an awesome AOV and LTV.
So email is really just a delivery system for extremely well-written copy. And as we all know, or maybe not all of us, but anyone who's been marketing for a while knows, the words that you use to describe your products and to position yourself really, really matter. For example, there's a woman who I've been following recently by the name of April Dunford, and I'm trying to find my notes from her. Yeah, here we go. So she talks about the importance of positioning, and she describes it as positioning defines how your product is the best in the world at delivering some kind of value that a well-defined set of customers cares a lot about. So I can see that obviously email is incredibly important in conveying that value because we all have endless amounts of competition. So with that said, how does a brand construct an email strategy to really make themselves stand out from their competition? You mentioned you do work in the health and supplements niche. I actually own a business that sells a couple $1 million worth a year of health and nutritional supplements on Amazon. So I know firsthand that it is incredibly competitive, and you've got all these pills and bottles, and you've got powders and buckets, and you've got creams, and there's just so much noise. And so let's kind of help the audience think their way through, both from a strategy and tactics perspective, on some of the things they can do to stand out from all that noise.
Yeah. So, first and foremost is just to really care about your customer and how you send your emails to them. So that's going far beyond just sending them the simple promotion, 50% off, 40% off, or, just blasting them with sale after sale. And really having a relationship and creating emails that engage them to the brand. I think.
Can you
for
give
a
an
long time-
example? Can you give an example of one of the clients, for example, that you like? Stories are so effective at conveying this rather than theory.
Yeah. So one brand right now that I really love is called Chubbies, which is like an apparel brand. They just have shorts. And I always choose them because they were doing this tactic of creating really engaging, quirky, kind of unique emails long before anyone else was. I think for a while, they were the ones who were kind of, at least in the email marketing world, from what I've seen, from what these experts and, these specialists say is, they share these tactics of, use a different from name or, speak a very unique language that relates to your audience. The thing is, Chubbies was doing that like way before anyone else. They were using ridiculous from names, way before companies like, Natural Health Sherpa and the direct response space was doing it. I mean, this was something that even back then when I didn't even need to buy their shorts, I was actually just opting in and reading their emails because I thought they were hilarious. I mean, they were not doing anything. There's only so many things you can say about, I guess, like apparel, a shirt or shoes or shorts, but they were really being quirky and weird and they were exciting. And even though I wasn't going to buy anything from them, I was still opening their emails because I was excited. And so I think that's the direction that I've actually seen a whole lot of businesses go towards in the last few years. I mean, I have a separate kind of Gmail account of just emails that I've opted into, really just to study what people are doing. And even within the last 3 years, I've seen these, the advent of like these fancy emails where branding, the font, the images are really cool. To nowadays, it's all about copy. It's like, how can we make people laugh or make them feel like they're part of a community or make them feel like they're right with their opinions. So, I think it's just a very exciting time. And I think any D2C brand, if they want to get ahead of the curve and keep making money, is to focus more on their emails.
All right. So the takeaway from what you've just said there is, first of all, use humor, say some things that are maybe a little weird so as to be different from everyone else who's talking corporate speak. And you also said some funny from names. Like, give me an example of one of the from names that Chubby's using.
Well, just an example of something I'm using is I work with a shoe brand right now, and lately we've noticed that the demographic, I'm sure they appreciate style and cool colors and being in trends, but we've noticed that they really love like the support that they get from the shoes. So instead of saying from brand name, it's going to be from your foot pain or just paint or foot relief. Or the most comfortable steps ever, because you see that's a bit of a pattern interrupt. You look at your inbox, your promotions folder, and you're just thinking, well, that's a bit weird. That's not just like local brand name. That's a good way to stand out. And I think that the main way holistically from what I've just said is just to not be boring. No one likes boring. And, you can go with emotionally compelling, you can be entertaining, you can go with stories, you can do the typical copywriting formulas and just agitate that pain, but just do anything would be boring. Just care about the emails you write. I mean, even a few lines of benefits and a little bit further goes a long way than just saying 40% off,
Yep, absolutely.